Good day, boys and girls. This is Mr. Gray here. I want to introduce to you a quick and easy way to do a flower art project as inspired by one of the most famous artists in the world, Vincent Van Gogh. I find Vincent Van Gogh fascinating. If you study his life, you'll find out that he made over 900 paintings, yet only sold one or two his whole entire life. He was never famous during his lifetime. He didn't paint to take a photograph of something. He painted to interpret something. So when you see the flowers that he draws, he doesn't draw a flower, he interprets it. And I don't even know if he understood that's what he was doing. He was passionate about his paintings. And you notice he starts his paintings with a theme, a color theme, that permeates the whole artwork first. And that's the same thing we're going to be doing with our artworks. Interpreting and starting with a theme. So with everything you've learned by looking at some Vincent Van Gogh artworks, the first thing I would tell you to do is I would paint the entire artwork one color first. And again, what I have with me is just some water, some paint, a flat paintbrush, and a number 12 round. So any kind of brush works that can paint a big area quickly. What we're gonna do is just get our artworks wet, and that's one of my little hacks, is to add water with a spray bottle. Another one of my little hacks is usually to keep 2 water buckets. And then a third thing would be another third little hack for painting is to use these little foam pieces for insulation that you can get at Walmart or Home Depot or any big box store, and you can use them to hold your brush out of the water to prevent the tips from getting destroyed. So the first thing I would do is, boys and girls, I'd ask you to pick one color that's your favorite. Okay? So let's pick red for today. Paint the whole entire artwork one color. And this is a round. I don't think it'll go as fast with my round. So actually I'm going to try using a flat. Okay. If you notice when I paint, sometimes I paint with paint that's mixed up with the water, and sometimes to go faster I just use water and I paint every speck of the paper. Now the next thing is, if I know my color wheel, I want to paint something that's near red for my background. I don't want a bright color like a color that would make things bold like green, because that's the opposite of red, right, on the color wheel? So I would pick one of these colors near red. So it's up to you. I might pick yellow to be, because I think that orange will blend in too much. And I'm going to try doing like a Vincent Van Gogh style brush stroke, where I just do little dashes, because I think that created a lot of energy in his artworks and personality. So while this is going to dry, I have to let this completely dry before I move on to my last step. So while I'm doing, I'm going to do a second painting. Okay, so now I have 2 paintings. They're both starting to dry. Do you know why you want to do one color first over the whole thing? It's because you're basically creating the atmosphere. So it's like the sky, or when the sky influences everything. So if the sky's blue, everything's going to have a blue tint to it. If the sky is red at sunset, everything will have a red tint to it. If you don't have that atmosphere, that main dominant color, it's really hard to have an artwork that fits together. It looks like discord and mess, and you don't get the great, vibrant, beautiful, wild chaos that's in a beautiful way. You get discord. So when you do the whole thing, your whole artwork, one color theme first, it brings the whole thing together, even if you add other colors in later. So for my last step, and this is probably my last step, is to use my round. You can use a flat if you have the skill of using a flat. A flat is the most diverse brush there is. But you would only want to use the very corner tip, not the flat side, but the very corner tip to draw, because I'm drawing my details last here. So my last step here, I'm going to get some black paint, and I may actually even mix black and green my my red a little bit, but do a little bit of a red and black mix if I really want to be particular. And all I want to do is, for the simplest flower I can think of, is just to draw a spiral. Okay? That's simple enough. With the tip of the brush. Notice I'm kind of holding it more down by the metal ferrule now. After that, you could really just draw a U on it. If that's the best, the most you want to do, is just draw a U. There's a lot more you can do to get more complicated. I could take this little piece that's sticking out and draw a little S shape. Draw a petal, draw some petals around. You can also add more color to it. I actually liked it simpler. Play around with it, have fun with it. Okay, for your flowers, like for this sunflower, I tried to make all my petals about an even amount thick, wide, about a ½ inch wide, and about 2 inches long. So they're all about the same width and length. And that's tricky to just free draw that, but that would be a tip or suggestion. Now I would go back and add a darker color for the borders, and I would draw some detailed petals behind petals. Now I'm going to do what Van Gogh did, is I would add colors that are not necessarily in the flower, in tiny amounts, bright colors. Like red. He outlined his with red. Hope that helps. Have a great day.